Happy New Year! And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to my channel. I am Jackie Page. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you follow me on all social media. I have a piece of hair in my face at Love Jackie Page. And speaking of hair, that's exactly what I am talking about today. I'm talking about how I maintain my hair during my workouts. I am a certified personal trainer. I am a group fitness instructor. I'm a Zumba instructor. I'm a TRX instructor. So as you can imagine, I work out a lot. I probably work out minimum 5 to 6 times a week. Maximum, there have been weeks where I've worked out 10 times a week. Like I've had 2 workouts a day. So it just really depends on the week. And one of the questions that I've been getting a lot lately is, Jackie, how do you maintain your hair when you work out? Like, I just don't get it. So what I wanted to do was come on here real quick and just answer that question for you, because I know a lot of times we sacrifice one, and we sacrifice one because we don't want to mess up the other. So we don't want to mess up our hair, so we don't work out. And then we end up gaining all this weight and we're like, oh, I can't get the weight off, or I want to lose weight, but I also don't want to mess my hair up. I get it. I got it. Been there, done that. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to look at you and tell you that I still don't have those dilemmas in my life today, because I do. I do still struggle. But over the years, I have tried a few million things to figure out what works best for me. And today I want to share like 3 or 4 things that have really worked for me that may work for you. And let me throw this disclaimer out. They have worked for me. This is how I maintain my hair. Is it necessarily going to work for you? It may not. If it doesn't, the same way, like I said, it's taken me a while to get here. It may take you a while to get here as well, and that's perfectly fine. It's a process. It's a journey. So try it. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board and try something else. Like, figure it out until you figure out the thing that works best for you. So let me just throw that disclaimer out, okay? Second thing I want to say, because you may be looking at me like, Jackie, do you even sweat in your hair? Yes, I actually do sweat in my head a lot. This is probably the place that I sweat the most, especially right here in the middle. You may not be able to tell right now, but this is like week and a half old hair, and I've worked out every day with this hair. I haven't worked out today just yet. I do plan on it. But this is week and a half old hair that I'm still semi-maintaining, so I do sweat a lot. Again, I have just found things that have worked well for me to help me maintain it for at least a week to a week and a half to 2 weeks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and just dive into it. So what are some of the things that I do to maintain my hair when I'm working out? The first thing that I like to do, and if you've seen any of my Instagram videos or have been to one of my classes, you've probably seen me wearing a headband of some sort. I have like 80 million of these running around my house because that's how much I swear by the headband. I wear headbands like it's nobody's business. This one is all stretched out. That's how serious it is. But I love wearing a headband because it just keeps my edges laid, and I do sweat a lot around the edges. So it just, when I do start to sweat, it's gonna keep it laid down, so when it dries, it's laid. Now, one of my favorite headbands, and this is gonna be very economically efficient on your pockets, is this one right here. And you're probably looking like, oh, Jackie, this is just a basic black headband. Yes, it is. But it's not a regular headband. So I used to cheer when I was in high school. And one of the things that we used to do when we were cheering for the games, because we knew we were going to sweat, is we would take old stockings and we would cut the stockings. They were clean, but we would cut the stockings and we would tie them around our head and we would make headbands. And that's just something that I have continued to do throughout the rest of my life. I really, really, really swear by this. If you've been to one of my virtual classes, if you have seen me in the gym, if you've been to one of my in-person classes, you've probably seen me wearing this exact headband because I swear by this method. Like I said, this is just the old pair of stockings. They had a hole in them. I just cut one of the legs, and I put it around my head. I tied it up. I tied it as tight as I needed it to be. And yeah, it's a headband and it works great. So if you haven't tried this, I would highly suggest trying this. This is like my go-to. Along with wearing this headband, if you've been to one of my classes, you've probably seen me with 2 ponytails sticking out the side of my head. I look like I'm 12 and a half when I do this. But one of the reasons that I like to do this is because it allows air to get to my scalp. There have been times where I've even come in with like 4 or 6 ponytails in my hair. But that's also because, like I said, I know I sweat a lot in the middle of my head. So I need air to get there. So if I take the ponytails and I make if I make 2 to 6, I know that air is going to get to my scalp and it's not going to sweat as much. So that, if you have not tried it, you may look crazy. You may look like you're 4.5, but when I tell you it works, it really, really, really works. And that's one of the things that I really do swear by. So a headband, this one in particular, and I will do ponytails, pigtails, just to let the air get to my head. I absolutely love it. Something else that I've tried, and my stylist has told me to try this. It didn't really work super well, especially with like cardio, is just wrapping my hair. So the same way I wrap it to go to bed, just wrapping it and throwing a hat on. If I'm lifting weights, I can get away with that because I'm not sweating as much. But if I'm doing cardio, my hair is gone. It's a wrap. So I don't do that when I'm doing cardio, just when I'm hitting the weight room and I'm lifting weights. When all else fails, I just sit that thing up in a ponytail and call it a day. Am I going to sweat? Yes, I'm probably going to sweat, but hey, it looks some sort of decent. And if you haven't invested in a good wig, honey, it's time to invest in a good wig or a good ponytail, because the reality is, at some point in time, the hair is going to start looking a mess and you're going to need to figure something out. So I have a few wigs, I have a few ponytails, and I would pop them things on and pop them things in real quick and keep it moving. And I have no issues with saying that, or no issues with putting that wig and a hat on at any point in time. I really don't. So that's something else that if you haven't tried, you should really consider getting a wig and some ponytails, just to help that in-between phase between you getting your hair done, working out, and getting it done the next time. So those are just some of the things that I like to do to make sure that I maintain my hair when I work out. Also making sure that you have a good stylist that is going to walk you through some things that you can do. If you don't have a stylist that understands that you work out a lot, then you need to find a new one, because I think that's just as important as maintaining the hairstyle and you figuring it out, is having those conversations with your stylist. Like, hey, this didn't work. How about this? This didn't work. Can I try this? Or what are your suggestions? Your stylist is your stylist for a reason. Like, they specialize in hair the same way your personal trainer is your personal trainer for a reason. They specialize in personal training. You is the same way that your stylist is very familiar and has gone through many different trainings, so on and so forth, when it comes to hair. So consult your stylist, talk to your stylist about things that they would suggest. They know your hair, they're doing it. So that's another thing that I would really, 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 really recommend that you have, is a good stylist that can walk you through and talk you through some of the things that you can do. Another thing I do, if I'm teaching a class, and if you're in a class, you may want to try it, is get near a fan. I mirror, so I face my students, but that allows me to put the fan is usually like right here or right there. That allows me to move that fan, or me to get into the position where the fan is hitting my head. So I can, again, get that circulation to my head. I do a really great job of maintaining my hair in the wintertime because it's not as hot. In the summertime, yeah, it's a little harder. That's when I have to really like go from the 2 ponytails to like the 4 to the 8 ponytails, because I need more circulation to get to my head. But again, these are just some of the things that I have done that have helped me throughout the years. I swear by this. So if you don't have one, get to it. But try a few things and see what works. And if it doesn't work, then go back at it again and try something else. I have always been the person who sits in the shoes of, I would rather look in the mirror and be comfortable with my body and what I see in the mirror, and have a crazy head and know that I can just run in my bathroom real quick and get my flat irons and straighten my hair and look like somebody, than being the person who looks in the mirror and who isn't happy with the way that she looks, but her hair is snatched. Like, you can fix your hair at any point in time. What you cannot do is get that body right and tight at any point in time. That takes time, okay? That's a longer process. So unfortunately, it is one of those things where you just kind of have to figure out, you know, do I really want to mess up my hair? Do I want to work out? But hey, you can always fix this up. You can always get a wig. You can always pop it on, but you can't always be the healthiest and the best you. And that's just the motto that I live by. So I hope that in some way, shape, or form, this was beneficial and helpful to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that you follow me on all social media at Love Jackie Page. Listen, it's a journey. It's a process. Are you going to get to the destination and are you going to have everything figured out tomorrow? No, but that's just the beauty of it. So try a few things, figure out what works. If it doesn't work, just try it again. And like, hit me up in my DMs, hit me up on social, and let me know some of the things that have worked for you as far as maintaining your hair while you work out. Like I said, these are some of the things that have worked for me, but I am always looking for new and better things to do. So hit me up on all social media at Love Jackie Page. Have a good one.